Well, the Prime Minister ahead with plans to come to a trade agreement with the United States, even as President Donald Trump appears to be losing patience with negotiations. Mark Carney's meeting with Cabinet today to discuss the latest U.S. tariff threats. CTV National News reporter Colton Praill joins us now for more on this. So, Colton, what kind of insight might this meeting give us on where these negotiations are at?
Yeah, Kent, this meeting is supposed to take place in about 30 minutes or so. The Prime Minister just spoke on his way into his office, talking about anticipating these talks heating up with the United States over the next couple of weeks. Of course, you would expect that to be the case given the new August 1st deadline that the President has imposed and threatening 35% tariffs. Mr. Carney spoke about the need to ensure there is a strong auto and steel sector. That particularly important given that both of those are actually impacted by Sector 232 tariffs, not by the IEEPA tariffs that the President is threatening to hit with 35%. There are also still at this point some questions as to whether that 35% would be on top of the IEEPA tariffs, or excuse me, the 232 tariffs that are impacting steel and aluminum, for example. So, should these come into play, would Canada be looking at 85% tariffs on steel and aluminum, a 50% that already exists, plus the added 35. These are the kinds of discussions that are going to be coming up, that they're going to be working on with the United States over the coming weeks. It is a very important cabinet meeting because it's the first time that they are all meeting since Trump introduced this 35% tax, or tariff threat, I should say. It's also the first time they're meeting since the Prime Minister told his ministers they need to find 7.5% program savings this year, saving one of every $13 spent. So on top of that, they've got the budget coming up this fall as well, which is going to be very difficult, and certainly both of those two larger line items are going to have a huge impact on that budget. So across the board, there are some really meaty discussions that are going to be held and that we're going to have. It is a little unfortunate that it's a virtual cabinet meeting because there will be less of an opportunity for us as media to get the answers for Canadians about what went on in that cabinet meeting. You don't have the same sort of shuffle out where you get to accost the ministers and see the reaction to the discussions. But certainly at this point in time, it's a very delicate step in negotiations, and we're seeing that Canadians are responding to the same sort of questions that I think you're seeing officials in the Prime Minister's office have as well about how much the President is dealing with this in good faith. 80% of Canadians, according to a new Angus Reid poll this morning, don't believe the President is negotiating in good faith. And so that's part of the challenge for Mr. Carney and for his team, is to find a way to get a deal done on this timeline for Canadians in a manner that helps Canada out, while at the same time, just yesterday, you have the President saying that those letters are the deal, that 35% will be the rate, and then just moments after that saying, but, we are open to conversations. And so there is a lot of murkiness to all of this, Kent, and certainly that's going to be something that they try to tackle in this cabinet meeting, provide an update on that. Of course, there's also the Premier's meeting with the Prime Minister next week where they'll get their update, but it really is just a situation that the further we progress towards these targets, it seems like the murkier it gets.
Indeed so. Okay, we'll see what happens in about 30 minutes or so. Colton, thank you.